Hello saxophone, Adrian here, the Sax Habit Coach. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you 10 ways how to embellish any reggae tune on your horn. The process of embellishment is to add color and ornaments to the melody so that it is more palatable to the ears of your listeners. To demonstrate my points today, I'll be using the song by Bob Marley and the Wailers, Could You Be Loved? Concert key D. Alto players were playing in the key of B major, which has 5 sharps. If you're a tenor player, then you will be playing in the key of E major, which has 4 sharps. The beauty about learning these techniques of adding embellishment in reggae is that they can be applied to any genre of music, and it will automatically elevate the sound of the tune you are playing. So number 1, learn to play the melody as is. That means the way Bob and the Wailers sang it, you play it exactly that way. Now, playing melodies is not always easy for a lot of saxophone players because they don't practice playing melodies the way they were written for vocalists, because you have to hold out those minims and also those semi-breves or whole notes. And if you have not developed the habit of practicing your long tones, it may be difficult for you, and that's why many saxophone players do not play melodies. I remember when I was in college, I had colleagues who were studying classical piano, and one of them pulled me to the side one day and said, Adrian, you need to outline the melody of your songs first, of your tunes first on the horn, so that people can know what you're playing. Then you can do whatever else. What I used to do was play a few hit and miss notes here and there in the melody, and then I'd dance around the rest of it for the rest of the tune. And then some people would call that improvisation. No, it's not. Number 2, add approach notes. No, it's okay if you just play the notes as they are. But adding approach notes bring a different flavor to the melody. One thing that is for sure is that once the tune is starting on the root note of the scale, you can always approach that note from below by approaching using the minor third or the 6th degree of the scale. So in our case, we're playing in B major, so the minor third would be your G sharp. The third element to add to your melodies on the saxophone reggae is to use trail off or tail end notes. So you can stop the notes, you can hold out the notes, but when you add tail end or trail off notes, it just makes the tune sound a whole lot better. Number 4, you want to add fillers. So in spaces, you can add runs or add grace notes or add a little trill here and there, but you want to be careful with this one, because some people, when they play, what they do is that they add fillers everywhere. And reggae, if you listen to reggae, you have to play with a lot of space. If you listen to the horn section of any reggae tune, you'll realize that they play with a lot of space. So the horns are not constantly playing behind the singers. It's the same thing when you are playing the melodic structure of the tune. You can add your fillers in between, but you also want to play with a lot of space. Number 5 is to add dynamics. Now, this is beautiful when you are able to add crescendos and decrescendos, when you are able to build up because you're coming to a climax, or when you're able to bring the melody down. And if you were playing live, people would listen to you and they are so attuned. You want to be able to go loud, go from loud to soft, then you go to normal, and you build up the range of the tune. saxophone players, especially beginners, do not play with dynamics. Now, if you don't practice with dynamics, you're not going to play the tune with dynamics. Every practice should not be about practicing practice, but practicing the rehearsal. There's a difference. Practice shouldn't be about practicing practice, but practice should be about practicing the rehearsal. Number 6, bend the notes. Now, this is another one that you want to be careful with. I listen to some saxophone players and they want to bend almost every note. No, too much of anything is not good for you. Too much of anything added in your melodies or your playing or your embellishment, it's going to sound monotonous after a while. So you don't want to bend every single note. You want to find spaces and spots in the melody where you can bend the notes and it fits in perfectly. Number 7, play with a lot of emotion. Now, this is another one where a lot of saxophone players, beginners especially, do not practice with emotion. And then when they're playing, they wonder why the tune sounds so flat, regardless of the genre that they're playing. You have to practice playing with the emotions that you want to send forth so that when you record the tune or when you are standing in front of an audience, they are feeling the emotions coming from your toenails. Yes, so you practice with the emotion so that when you're playing live or you are recording it to upload to your favorite social platform, you are sending forth that energy. Number 8, articulation. Now, articulation is crucial when it comes to reggae. A terrible way to articulate the notes is to stop the notes. You want to play with a very light tongue, and you also want to use a lot of air when you are playing the reggae notes so that they don't sound static. The next thing about articulating reggae is that you want to use different rhythmic style. So sometimes you're going to use staccato notes, but you're going to use a flurry of legato notes. You want to be able to diversify how you play each note, but you cannot play with a heavy tongue or else it's not going to sound good. Number 9, use repeatable phrases. If you listen to any horn section in reggae, you will notice that they use repeatable phrases. Probably they're playing 2 or 3 notes. The same with your melodies. Throughout the tune, you have a few phrases that you insert there that you can repeat, and all you do is vary the structure of that particular phrase. So in this example, listen to how I use this phrase at the front. As opposed to how I use it later on. Number 10, add a bit of improvisation. Have fun with the music, right? And only play what you are hearing at that particular time. Now, if you are trying to improvise and you can't hear anything, it means that you need to add more to your vocabulary and you need to work on your ears. And I am coming out with a video very soon how I'm going to show you how I work on my ear training and how you should approach it, especially as a beginner, because that is going to be a crucial part of your journey as a saxophone player. As always, saxophone, push, play until something happens. Peace.